It's talking fingers, Mr. Shy again today. This video is very improvised, very casual, and it's just something kind of inspired by someone on YouTube that I really like. You're all probably familiar with Ash at Gorilla Miniature Gaming. I'm a big fan of his channel too, and he has a series where he talks about what's on his painting bench at the moment. And do you know what? I always find it quite inspiring. I always find it quite nice to see what other painters are up to, and it often gives me ideas for what projects I want to start or what projects I might maybe needed some new ideas on, and just seeing other people paint things will sometimes give you those ideas. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time today just talking about what I'm currently painting and what's going to be coming up shortly. So first and foremost amongst that is a little Infinity commission that I'm working on at the moment. I say it's little, it's about 20 models and there's more coming. My client Eric is amazing, he's wonderful, and he keeps me supplied with interesting Infinity stuff to paint that I otherwise probably wouldn't get an opportunity to paint. And this Toha commission is no exception to that. So I've got a few things in various stages of completion at the moment. In terms of finished stuff, there's a fair bit that is finished, and they're all, you know, sort of medium-high standard. He wanted kind of something that was not super high standard so as to keep the commission affordable, but at the same time was not just, you know, like my classic Ariadna, very quick, kind of 4 or 5 hours a model and done. So we're doing about sort of 6 or 7 hours a model here for most of them, and then, you know, just 4 hours for the simpler models, such as these little dudes. I love these guys. They are just the cutest little things you ever done saw, and I really adore them. There's 2 more of those to work on, so here's a few things that are going to be started this week. So here's 2 more of those little dudes. And then this big boy here. I don't unfortunately know the names of any of the Toha units, which is embarrassing because I'm an Infinity fanatic, but Toha is a discontinued commission and I don't, discontinued faction, and I don't know anyone that plays it. So unfortunately I don't know the name of any of the models, but this big boy is going to be exciting. We're going to make a start on him this week. And the colour scheme is this kind of purple symbiote, grey armour, and then like blue-grey fabric with, I'm doing majority blue weapons. Obviously a few exceptions like this spear here where I went for this kind of pink to blue fade to tie into the blue here and the pink here. And then we've got a few that are sort of almost done. I've just got to really finish these off, so this just needs a little bit more highlighting on the non-metallics and the guns finishing, essentially, and then it's done. And these couple are all in the same sort of state of completion, all kind of very nearly finished. I just need maybe another, you know, hour just to finish a couple of bits. This guy's got a green mask, which I'm also going to need to finish highlighting, but I'll be doing it in the same colours as the glowing sort of buckley sections that I do along here. So very nearly done with that. Let's move on to the next stuff then. So video related painting. So you'll probably recognise this Vitruvian Colossus from Dystopian Wars from a recent non-metallic metals video. In fact, if you're a patron, you'll be getting both of these at the same time because they're being made in the same week. In fact, they're going to be probably edited on the same day. But for those of you that view just when stuff goes up on general release, this will probably be the miniature that featured in last week's video unless any last minute changes happen. And I do actually want to finish it. This isn't painting for a video as such, this is painting from a video. I really want to finish it, and I actually want to paint the other one and indeed all my Dystopian Wars stuff because I really like the look of that game, but I really fancy actually getting a starter set fully painted before I play. I did this with Rumble Slam and it felt really rewarding to actually get miniatures painted and then play games with a fully painted starter set, even though the paint jobs weren't necessarily the best back then. So this is not necessarily something you'll see coming up in a video, but is something that is a result of a video that I will be working on in whatever spare time I can find. And again, this is all, you know, non-metallics, copper and this blue steel, and then there'll be like grey as an accent colour here and there. We'll do bits of grey. We'll probably have some sort of bright green in there somewhere as well, just as a nice pop colour to this kind of orangey, coppery workup. Now this next one I'm not going to put straight on screen because initially I was actually going to keep this a secret. I've been working on the limited edition Warhammer Plus Terminator, Azrak the Annihilator, I believe that's what he's called, but I've been painting him in his Heresy colours. And this has been an incredibly slow process because I want to do a really, really good job of this. I want to do, you know, heavy metal or above level painting on this. And the problem is that I just don't always have the time to sort of reset my brain into concentration mode and go for it in the middle of commissions and really, you know, work on something that's very mentally heavy like this. You can see we've got one section of NMM finished, but we've got all of the white armor finished and looking cool. I've gone for this really kind of bluey, I'm actually using dark sea blue as a tint color here with white, and it's a mixture of airbrushing and glazing and manual painting and all sorts of different techniques. If you know anything about how heavy metal painting is executed, you'll know that there is no one technique. There are very many techniques that go into making those kind of paint jobs happen, and that's why this is very slow. So I actually have been filming the painting of this, and I'm trying to decide whether I should continue and release it as kind of a masterclass, or whether it's time to maybe knock it on the head and say, look, this is going to take months to not only find the time to finish painting it, but also to film the process. Maybe it's better to just concentrate on stuff that I'll actually get out there and just finish this off camera. Still deciding, but if you really want to see this, obviously starring in a video, half of that video is at least already filmed, and I am happy to carry on filming it if it's something that people really want to see. So just really, you know, make sure you leave a comment if you want to see it, because I am considering abandoning it. I've also got a display base in the works to go with it. This is currently it's actually a Chessex dice box that I've turned into a little display plinth and just some nice rocks and stuff on top of it at the moment. So we'll see how that pans out. This may not be the final display base. I might decide to go for something, you know, really, really creative, maybe get the 3D printer involved. I don't know yet. But for the time being, this is what I've got. And the idea would be that he's only very superficially super glued to this. So when I finish painting him, I'll snap him off of this, glue him onto this. So we'll see. This could be a project that I get finished sometime soon, but probably not. That said, I do have some personal projects that I probably will paint quite soon. This is a Iron Wind Metals. It's a 20-year-old sculpt for a Phoenix Hawk. Now, the Phoenix Hawk happens to be my favourite BattleTech mech. That's probably a pretty unpopular choice because it's a really not very offensively powerful medium mech with super high mobility, which I don't think is the thing that a lot of people are into. I will say, and I apologise, this will probably upset a few BattleTech fans, but this model was terrible. I don't know if Iron Wind in general are terrible, but I had to cut this knee joint and rebend the leg, and the pelvis is still wonky. I had to cut the ankle and shorten the leg, and you can see it's still standing up taller here. I had to make massive modifications to the actual model itself. So this isn't casting issues, this is model design issues. And I do take that kind of thing quite seriously as a professional because obviously I work with miniatures a lot. But that said, it's a very cool, very old school, typical classic metal miniature, and I really like those. I have a real soft spot for them and I enjoy working on them. So I'm really looking forward to working on it now that I've got it prepped, but just something to be warned about in advance, especially if you are newer to miniature painting and the modeling side of the hobby, is just be prepared. If you are a BattleTech fan and you want to go for some of these Iron Wind metals, they may have similar issues to this one. I don't know, this is the first one I've ever built. I've got one more over in a box, but I haven't took it out of its blister yet or anything. In terms of the colour scheme, give me 2 seconds and I will go and fetch an example to show you how I'm going to be painting this. And with a bit of TV magic, I'm back and I have a mech example in my hands. So this is my military lance colour scheme. I've actually also got a commission for a full company to do for these, but that's not going to be started until at best case scenario, like just before Christmas is when that will be started, I suspect. But this colour scheme I really, really enjoy. You know, it's that kind of khaki and green or beige and green kind of army look with some nice white stripes and stuff. I really dig it. Bit of turbo dork on the cockpits. This was a turbo dork paint called Hemo Goblin, and it's like a green to orange color change. I really, really enjoy that. And so as you can imagine, this is probably going to look pretty dope with that same similar treatment. So looking forward to that a lot. And then as I continue to work with War Cradle Studios, I'm trying to get some nice example pieces painted up for their stuff too. I've actually started selling these miniatures on my web store. These are from Wild West Exodus. And the reason I've put these on my web store and started selling them is because I genuinely believe that this is a miniatures company that are rivaling Games Workshop quality. The sculpts are absolutely fantastic. The detail level is brilliant. They're really well made. They go together well. They are hard styrene plastic cast in-house in the UK. War Cradle are the only company I know of that are casting their own hard plastics in-house in the UK. And so I went on board with them and I decided to start putting this stuff up on my web store, which is linked below, by the way, if you're interested in having a look at what War Cradle stuff I've currently got up there. I don't have a ton yet because I'm still in the process of populating the website with all the different SKUs, but these miniatures are wicked, and so in my spare time I do try to find time to work on them. You've probably seen quite a bit of Smash and Grab, the half robot, half ogre looking thing, or half mutant looking thing that's appeared in a couple of videos. These are all from the same starter set that he comes in, and whenever I get a bit of spare time at the moment, these tend to be what I try to do a bit of work on, because I just think they're really, really neat miniatures. I love the design of them, and I don't really get to paint much steampunky stuff. It's very rare that I get to work on that kind of thing, so these are a nice refresher between Infinity and Warhammer being the two main things that I'm working on. And then the final thing that we've got coming up, and you've probably seen quite a lot of Night Lords if you follow any of my social media accounts, 30k Night Lords, and I've got 2 of the new Contemptors, the new plastic Contemptors to paint for that Night Lords army. There's a few other bits as well, but they're all bagged up at the moment, so I won't show them because it's a bit complicated to kind of get them out, and there's a lot of conversion bits on them. I've got a Terminator command squad that I want to be working on soon, and a couple of character models that have got some conversion bits with them as well. But these 2 are exciting because I love me a Contemptor Dreadnought. It's my favourite Dreadnought pattern in all of Warhammer, and whenever I get to work on one, it's always a good time. I've already done a number of the old plastic ones, which are not the best, but I do have a bit of a soft spot for them. I've done a number of the resin ones. I've actually got right beside me an Emperor's Children 3D printed one, which is pretty neat, that I'm about sort of halfway through painting. I really need to find some more time to work on this at some point. And Contemptors, I just really like painting Contemptors, so to be able to have 2 and to be able to work on both of them at the same time, it's going to be a really, really fun time. I'm really looking forward to that. So, Talking Fingers is probably about done for the day, but that's everything that I'm currently working on. That's all of my current projects. There's a lot of back and forth with stuff like this. There's a lot of, as you can see, various stages of completion. These primed ones are on my desk because I'm going to be starting them imminently. These ones that are half finished I'll be finishing imminently, and then it's on to some Horus Heresy. Personal projects slide in between wherever I can fit them. So it's a good time to be me at the moment, I think, painting-wise. I've got a lot of really good, fun stuff going on, a lot of things I'm really looking forward to. And I hope that this video, much like with Ash's series that inspired it, has provided you a little bit of inspiration maybe, or given you some ideas of, oh, that's a thing that I could attempt doing this week, or, you know, just maybe giving you a little bit of a hobby prompt. That's my hope. That's certainly what I get from Ash's videos, and I think, you know, more people making that kind of content that is designed to just inspire and motivate other hobbyists is a great thing. So I hope you enjoyed this, folks. Please do give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and maybe consider subscribing to the channel if you want to see more content like this and other review, painting, and all sorts of interesting hobby gaming related content. I will see you in the next one, folks. Thank you so much for watching, and bye bye for now.